Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and Stress Recovery Coach. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. This week, I have a beautiful one-pot dish for you in my creamy butternut squash and lentil curry. It looks beautiful, it smells amazing, and it comes together really easily. So let's talk about it. I love curries, and this one is just curry powder. It's not spicy, but you're getting all of those warming flavors, and it's just a beautiful, cozy meal for a chilly evening or even some leftovers for lunch the next day. Obviously, we've got butternut squash in this recipe. Squash, of course, is a fall staple, and I love it because it is full of beta carotene, so that's where that orange color comes from, vitamin C, potassium, really nutrient dense, and it helps support immune health, which of course this time of year, fall, we all need a little extra immune system boost. So it also helps reduce inflammation, and of course it's a complex carbohydrate, so delivers those slow digesting carbs to help keep us full and satiated and get that fiber into our bodies that we need. So I love the butternut squash for that. We've also got lentils in this recipe, and lentils are a high quality plant protein. More on that protein here in a minute, but high quality plant protein, lots of fiber here in the lentils, making it really hearty, but also a balanced meal, low glycemic index, so we're not spiking blood sugar here, as they do also digest slowly. So we've got just a really satiating, nutrient-dense meal going on between the butternut squash and the lentils. I've also got some coconut milk and spices for anti-inflammatory support, also using chicken bone broth. Now, I just made a batch of my homemade chicken bone broth. You can grab the recipe from my website. I'll link it below. It sat overnight in the crock pot, and I didn't even have to think about it until this morning, so I just made a fresh batch of that. But that chicken bone broth is also incredibly anti-inflammatory, as well as it is full of collagen, which supports the gut lining. So all kinds of goodness there, supporting our hormones, supporting our gut health. We've got spices. Of course, I mentioned the curry, but we've also got garlic and onion, which is that prebiotic fiber. So it not only adds flavor, but it is really good for gut health as well. So lovely goodness. And then I've got some, you can either use spinach or kale, and I just grabbed some more baby kale from the store. It wilts down just like spinach. Spinach sometimes messes with me, so I gravitate towards the kale, but either one will absolutely work. And I love that the vibrant green of the kale just really pops against the orange of the butternut squash. So it's a beautiful dish as well as a nutrient dense dish. So let's talk about actually throwing it together. Now, if you want to make this super simple, almost like zero prep, you can go to the grocery store and get the pre-cut butternut squash and the pre-diced onions from your produce section. So if you want something that is really simple and all you have to do is throw it together, go grab some of those. No shame. I totally get those busy nights. I chose to buy a butternut squash and an onion and cut them up. So I just got my onion cut up. I did use a red onion, not a yellow onion, because you know I love those polyphenols in the red onion. And then cut up half. It was a rather large butternut squash, so I just cut up the bottom half of the butternut squash, cubed that, obviously scooped out the guts, cubed the butternut squash, and that was all of the chopping I did. Peeled the butternut squash as well, of course. So peeled it, scooped out the guts, chopped it up into nice bite-sized pieces, and got my pot going, added some oil in it, got that going, put my onions and my garlic. I used the jarred minced garlic. Obviously you can use fresh if you want to. Into my pot with my ginger. Now I have frozen ginger. I just got out my microplane and grated that frozen ginger right into the pot. So I find that that's really easy to do, is to keep the ginger frozen and do it that way. It grates really nicely. So got that going, let them cook down for about 5 minutes, added in my curry powder, stirred all of that together. It's a tablespoon of curry powder, kind of toasted the curry a little bit in that like about 30 seconds that I let that in there, and then added in everything else except for the kale. So that was my chicken broth, my coconut milk, my lentils, my butternut squash. Stirred that around, and brought that to a boil. Once it was at a boil, I turned down the heat so that it would simmer, popped a lid on it, and then let it cook for 25 minutes. Once the 25 minutes was up, I threw in 2 large handfuls of my baby kale, stirred them around until they wilted down, and that was it. So if you're doing no prep, you can make this meal in about 25 minutes. If you're doing the prep, it's gonna be about 30-35 minutes, depending on how long it takes you to like peel your butternut squash, really. But it turned out beautifully. I know this is hard to see, but I've got some footage and some photos of what it looks like in the bowl, but it's got that beautiful color of the curry with the pops of the kale, or if you use spinach, and it just smells amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to try this dish on a nice chilly fall evening. It's really gonna like warm you up from the inside out, and is just so good for you with all of those nutrients in it, and I can't wait for you guys to try it. A note about the protein in this dish, I mentioned I would address the protein. Now, because we are using lentils to make this a plant-based dish, it's not super high on the protein. So in the blog post, I have added additional ways to add in extra protein, both animal-based protein and plant-based protein. So go check that out and see what your options are to boost the protein content of this dish. So give it a try, grab the recipe at the link below. As always, go grab my Instagram, follow me on social medias at Holly Andrews Coaching. You can find me pretty much anywhere on the socials with that one. Check out my website for additional recipes. Grab my book, Heal Your Stress from the Inside Out, where we really deep dive into what stress does to our bodies and how we can heal from that with nutrition and other techniques and create a personalized stress recovery roadmap. And I am so excited to announce that I have launched my online wellness community. Now, there are 2 ways to get in. One is free. You can grab that link from my website on my shop page. What you're gonna get is you're gonna get a couple of free resources from me, and then anytime I run a free workshop, you will be able to participate in that. Now, I also just launched my online course for Heal Your Stress from the Inside Out. If you buy the course, it's a one-time fee to buy the course. You buy the course, you get access to the tips and Q&A and paid for workshops and all kinds of other good stuff. I'm gonna have a recipe membership coming soon as well. So you kind of get access to the full space. And then of course, if you sign up for my one-on-one coaching program, you get access to all of it. The course is included now with my one-on-one coaching program. So grab the link below, go check all that out, and I hope to see you in the community soon. And until next time, I'm Holly Andrews, and I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.